Residents of Ain al-Arab advance in the city, taking control of new buildings after killing 13 ISIL terrorists. Al-Jaafari stresses that Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Turkey are behind the spread of terrorism in the region. Israeli settlers renew their threats to break into Al-Aqsa Mosque under the protection of Israeli soldiers. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our news for today. In Ain al-Arab, in Aleppo's eastern suburb, the inhabitants have advanced towards the center of the city after pushing out ISIL terrorists from several buildings. The popular defense units have meanwhile carried out an operation in the surroundings of the municipality headquarters, taking control of 6 buildings in the area, killing at least 13 terrorists. The defense units also seized large quantities of weapons, including RPG guns, sniping rifles, shells and heavy machine gun ammunition. Syria's permanent representative to the UN, Dr. Bashar Al-Jaafari, has said the new resolution on Syria is politicized and threatens international relations credibility. In his word at the meeting of the UN General Assembly's Third Committee, Al-Jaafari underlined Syria's principled stand, which rejects using human rights issues as a pretext to interfere in states' internal affairs on the basis of humanitarian and legal backgrounds. Al-Jaafari presented several clues that prove the involvement of the Saudi, Qatari and Turkish governments in supporting, with funds and weapons, the armed terrorist groups including Jabhat al-Nusra and ISIL, facilitating their passage into Syria, training them in special camps and providing them with all kinds of arms, including chemical weapons. Al-Jaafari also referred to the double-standard policy resorted to by some states in dealing with the issue of terrorism in Syria and the rejection of any positive signs on the part of the Syrian government. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said his country is still offering assistance to the governments of Iraq and Syria, as well as other states in the region, to help them address their internal crisis. He added that Russia has suggested that all the dangers ensuing from such crises be discussed within the framework of the United Nations and that a comprehensive strategy be outlined to get them contained. Addressing the Duma Council and the Russian Foreign Ministry, Lavrov said Moscow is working to find solutions to crises on the basis of international law and conventions. He added that progress in Iran's nuclear file will help improve the situation in the Middle East. Lavrov said that the Ukrainian crisis is the result of the policy of certain Western states which try to falsify facts through accusing Russia of being behind some of the current events, which has a negative impact on world economy and in no way helps contain the Ukrainian crisis. Lavrov said Russia seeks to enhance the culture of mutual respect in international relations, whereas the USA and its allies try to pressure other states, thus producing negative results. The death toll following the heroic Jerusalem attack on Israeli settlers has risen to 5 as Israeli occupation troops demolished the house of a Palestinian citizen in Salwan.
After 5 Zionist settlers were killed and several others injured in a shooting attack in a synagogue in the occupied Western Jerusalem neighborhood of Har Nof, Israeli occupation troops have destroyed the home of Palestinian citizen Abdurrahman Shiludi in Salwan, who killed 2 Israeli settlers by ramming a car into a Jerusalem tram stop last month. Israeli occupation army arrested 4 Palestinians in occupied West Bank last night. Israeli media sources pointed out that an Israeli policeman died of wounds he sustained following the synagogue attack. In another development, the U.S. State Department urged American citizens who travel to occupied Palestinian territories, as well as to the Zionist entity, to take extreme measures following the escalating tension. The FBI had already sent a team of experts to investigate the synagogue attack. In New York, the city's mayor de Blasio called for intensifying security measures around Jewish synagogues in the city. For their part, the Palestinian resistance men hailed the attack against the Israeli settlers, saying it was a response to the killing of a Palestinian bus driver, Youssef Ramouni. The Palestinian bus driver from eastern Jerusalem was found hanged inside his vehicle after being beaten by Israeli settlers.
Within the framework of the Judaization policy followed by the Zionist entity in Palestine, Israeli occupation ratified a plan to construct 78 new settlement units as part of a larger settlement project that includes 156 settlement units in Ghunay Mountain and remote neighborhood. A week earlier, Israeli forces of occupation had disclosed a plan to establish 200 settlements in occupied Jerusalem. Finally, Iraqi Army announced purging 95% of Al-Miqdadia in Diyala Governorate from terrorists and reopening the road of Al-Miqdadia-Kankhin. Iraqi Army also killed 30 terrorists from Daesh, including non-Iraqis, during battles in As-Sa'diya, northeast of Baquba. In Al-Anbar, Iraqi Army killed a number of terrorists from Daesh during their attempt to attack Al-Ramadi city. As a result of the heavy blows dealt by the Iraqi army, the terrorists were forced to flee Al-Fallujah and Heat. Reflecting the hysteria and despair of the terrorists, a suicide bomber blew his car off in central Erbil, north of the country, as he attempted to storm into the castle area, killing many citizens and injuring others. With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news with Serena, but after a short break.